we have success. We have connection. We have officially docked with all social media channels. Spreely and Wimkin. We'll have those up in just a second, usually 7 o'clock. We have pre-show, 3 minutes. We'll have those shows up and ready to go. We have a special guest tonight. We're also going to have a conversation with Amy Stancombe, who is a fan favorite, longtime moderator, fan of the show. More importantly, she'll be coming on, and she wants to have a conversation. She's working, and she's still going to make. She's like, I don't know if I can. I said, no, that's not true. Tell your job you're going to be on. Olivia's here tonight. Olivia,
of course,
welcome.
Always.
Welcome. Jason, welcome to the show, man. This is pre-show. It's just BS, and we were talking hockey, and we can go right back to it. I rudely interrupted you when we were talking about McDavid and all of that. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I don't have much to say. I mean, I'm just saying, and obviously, this is how you and I met, was on a Facebook post about hockey, actually, which was kind of funny. But I had stated honestly, and it is the cliche, there's nothing about that, but I stated that if Edmonton just had goaltending and just a tad bit of defense, they would have won a cup already with McDavid. And you were like, that's what everyone says. Let's just
that's not what I said. I said what I said was, if my grandmother had balls, she would be my grandfather. There's a lot of ifs. I thought that's what I thought that's what I said.
No.
Go ahead.
No, you said you hear that all the time. Then you brought up McKinnon, of course. This was we didn't even know who we were, but at least I understood that you had hockey knowledge, which is great.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the game. Listen, McKinnon has a tendency to give up on the play. I don't like that. But like I said, two-way player. I don't think he's the best two-way player in the game. I think there's other players who provide an extremely high level of competency at being a defensive forward. But McKinnon is, listen, it doesn't matter. If you got McKinnon or McDavid on your team, you have the modern day today of Lemieux and Gretzky. So it doesn't really matter. It's a stupid argument to make. They're both talented players. They both bring two different types of game. But I would love to see Nathan McKinnon on a 200-foot stretch of ice, flat out from start to finish. No turns, just straight up the ice. I'd like to see McDavid and McKinnon do it in a non-all-star setting where there's no injuries.
That'd be absolutely intriguing.
That'd be fun.
I'll tell you this. This is why it's going to be so hard to stop Edmonton. Is so points per game in the playoffs.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, Draisaitl and McDavid are top 6 of all time. 1.67 points per game in the playoffs. It'd be very difficult to stop them. But if any team can do it, it's Florida.
Yeah, but see, that's a misleading stat. Is 1.67 is amazing, but that's on bottom feed. Yeah, sure it is. It's bottom feeding teams. Hold on, I got to shut down. Hold on. I don't want to lose this feed. I'm going live, and then I'm shutting it down.
Listen, it doesn't matter. If you got McKinnon or McDavid on your team,
make sure I'm live. Liv, are we live?
I'm looking right now.
Hold on one second. I'm sorry, brother. Being a interrupt you.
I am going to send out a notification to Wimkin people that we're live.
Okay.
It looks like we are.
Okay.
Yes.
Pop and smoke on Wimkin. Leave page. Make sure it's still up. And if this works, we are doing well. Folks, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. You might see below we've got a very special guest. This is Jason Shepard from Wimkin.com, CEO. Yeah, I have friends in high places. I asked a few other CEOs to stop by, and Warren Buffett was busy. Bill Gates said that he was eating bugs, and Tim Cook was at the Pride Parade perpetually for 30 days in a row. So they couldn't make it. So we had to settle for Jason. He's here. Much more entertaining than all three of those guys. So we have a birthday. Is that right, Liv?
We do.
Looks like it's Rhonda's birthday.
Rhonda, yes.
Are we singing happy birthday to Rhonda?
Our special guest can sing happy birthday to Rhonda.
No, we can't make Jason do that. It's not fair. Jason's not drunk, and we can't have him do that. I will go ahead and sing with the lovely Olivia for Rhonda's birthday. Are you ready, Olivia? Olivia, we're going to do this in a slower tempo. with audible pauses in between the break and increased pitch.
Real hard.
Increased pitch on the crescendo. Listen, if you don't listen, you can't figure this out, so you're going to get lost. And increased pitch on the crescendo. Are you ready?
Sure.
On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. It's too fast. It's too fast. You're not slowing this down enough. Let's try this again. And let's go. Here we go. Get your game on. Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rhonda. Happy birthday to you.
Nice timing.
Damn, that was good. I mean, I was good. Your pitch was off, but
I don't have my voice back from last time I had laryngitis.
I'm just kidding. You sounded great. Whoa. Slow down. Sarah Nichols says, question, I've been waiting for approval for a Wimkin uncensored social media account for a few days. Have a solution for the long wait? What the hell's wrong with that CEO? What a POS. I can't believe this guy. What? He's working on it right now, Sarah. I have that poll.
Wait a second now.
Let me explain why it's not approved. This guy gets inundated with bots, and he approves every single account.
Not just me, but yes, we definitely do that.
Jason, just take the credit. Jason does it all. Jason works 24 hours. He works 27 hours a day, folks. 9 days a week, and 14 months a year. And he constantly, that's all he does. He approves. His finger is literally a nub of skeleton because he just constantly approves people. So he's busy. Jason, do we have success? Sarah Nichols, SARANICHOLS. Let us know. We'll be right back. We might get through this intro. Santana got her documents of freedom today. Santana, congratulations on your documents of freedom.
Wow.
Apparently, Rhonda says thank you for the song, but she would prefer a little more Marilyn Monroe.
Listen here, Rhonda. You take what you get and you like it. What's up, Jay? Is she embedded? She's like way down the list. He's looking. Be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, exclusive benefits, member discounts, along with no card. You don't get a card, but you get quarterly gift boxes. Kind of cool. The DUM Club, folks. You can join us. Be a part of us. It's real simple. Premium news content, 5% given back to veterans. The DUM Club, a way to give back and get something in return. If you just don't want to go ahead and give us something for nothing, join thedumclub.com, where every day is like Christmas.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Weaver. I am on the Don't Unfriend Me show, otherwise known as The DUM Show, with host Matt Spear. You guys can find the show at The DUM Show on social media or thedumshow.com.
Adjusting transmitter output. This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered.
Bad
we can
news.
agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
No, Jason, the down thumb wasn't for you. It's for the Houston Astros. Christian Javier is out with Tommy John surgery for the season. Come on.
That's it. You know
As
what?
long as he doesn't
I
make
have to bring
pluckers
something up
and
here.
actually comes back.
What's that? Go ahead.
So I saw a stat, and I believe this stat. From like 2000 until 2020, there was like 30 Tommy John surgeries. There's been like 50 in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Now, people are saying pitch clock. I'm saying let's look at how this mRNA technology with this vaccine is actually affecting people. Because why? Why? Let's be honest here. They didn't change pitches. These pitches have been around for 100 years. It's very strange, truly. And a pitch clock is not going to do that in 2 years. It's not going to happen.
You don't think that it has to do with that the fastball is 4.5 miles an hour faster than it was 10 to 15 years ago and people are throwing their arms out?
No, I actually don't. We've had plenty of hard throwers. Go back to John Rocker and stuff. They didn't get Tommy John. None of the
Right.
the Pirate
Right.
has been around for, 19 years? Never once needed any surgery like that.
Yeah, there are exceptions to the rule. I don't know. I think you need to look at a lot of things. I mean, baseball is it's an interesting. Listen, the repetitive motion on these arms and the variety of pitches and the overall. I mean, there's guys now who with 5 or 6 pitches in their repertoire. It used to be fastball and off speed. And we lost Jason. It's okay. I don't know what's going on with the connection. It's not us. Don't blame me. I don't want to hear it. It's not me. We fixed Wimkin connection, so we'll get Jason back here in a second. Tell you a little bit about Jason and all of that. Yeah, but Maddox wasn't throwing. We can look at Glavine, we can look at Clemens, we can look at Randy Johnson. They weren't throwing 100 miles an hour. So what I'm saying is that it's topping out at a good fastball pitcher is throwing 96 to 98 miles an hour, and elite is throwing 99 to 101. That right there, from 96 to 98, Clemens wasn't throwing that. Verlander wasn't throwing that. Verlander's thrown a couple 97, 98s. But my point is that extra 1 mile an hour, 2 mile an hour, 3 mile an hour, does it take away 10,000 throws? I don't know. I think we need to study this. But I think Tommy Johns, I think a lot of pitchers also do this. They throw and they go, I'll just get Tommy Johns when I need to. And I think it's an option now. And I think it's a horrible option.
That is very true. It's almost like an elective surgery. If you want to have an incredible, crazy season, you might be able to do that. But I mean, no, it's you literally can end your entire career.
Well, Gabriel Landeskog certainly did. He says he's going to come back, and if anyone can, it's that guy. He's an Olympic athlete, 3% body fat, ridiculous. He is an amazing player, and I hope he does. But I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. We do everything here, sports. Yeah, this is Jason Shepard. Jason, tell everyone who you are. I think a lot of people are cutting their teeth on you over the last few days, but tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here.
Well, thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure, first and foremost, working with you guys the last couple of days just to get this working, literally. But so I am Jason. I started Wimkin social media due to censorship we were seeing with conservatives over social media and other areas of media for, let's say, probably the past decade before we started this. To be quite honest with you, I'll give you just a couple-minute rundown of who I am. Worked in healthcare IT for a very long time, and I want you guys to actually please take this time into account here. But in September of 2019, while I'm in healthcare IT, we get a phone call from very senior ups. I mean, it's almost as high as it can possibly go in a healthcare company with over 3,000 offices and the second largest insurer in my tri-state area, which I believe actually Matt and Olivia are a part of our tri-state area. He actually knows who I'm speaking about. But long story short, September of 19, we are tasked with setting up 130,000 tests and new protocols through our healthcare system to report on a brand new test. We have no idea what's coming down the line. We don't know what we're testing for. We don't even know how to really deliver these things. We don't even have them in our possession to actually set these up. Not only did we have to set those protocols up, we actually had to set up a protocol where the doctor's offices, which we only had 2,300 primary care physicians at that time, relatively small. That's a joke. But we had 2,300 primary care physicians. We had to set up protocols to report directly to the county health department. So obviously everyone knows where I'm going with this. September of 19, we were setting up COVID tests legitimately for COVID. Who knew about that? We didn't know about that as American people. Certainly some people did. Mainstream media, I don't think even knew yet. But somehow
how far before the first case were you guys creating COVID tests?
So, in my opinion, I think the first case in the United States was actually October 26th, but that's just from extensive research. But still, that wasn't known.
I agree with you.
Until roughly December or January. So we're talking 3 full months before this, and we were told we have to set this test up. We didn't even find out we didn't even know what we were testing for until December. Oh, this is a new strain of coronavirus. Now here's the kicker. Matt, you guys know me, and Olivia, you guys know me by now. I'm the type of guy who literally, when I'm in your office, I'm giving you a business card and saying, don't call the 800 number, call me directly. If I've been here, you can talk to me. So once we finally delivered the tests and had the protocols and everything ready to go, and they started testing, because if you guys recall, the only place you can get a COVID test was at a PCP's office. There was no Rite Aids, no CVS's. In the beginning, it was all PCP. Well, 9 doctors called me directly and said, we are not giving these tests. And I'm like, okay, what's the problem? They're not our tests. They were delivered to us by a whole third party here. They were testing for any type of coronavirus. Right now, guys, you and I probably have at least 3 to 6 between us that we're asymptomatic for. So, and that's, us 3 right here, Matt, Olivia, and myself. We probably have at least 1 to 2. So all of these tests, about 98% were coming back positive, which there's your mass hysteria right there, right off the bat. And where was that going? Directly to the government. And we were just one health insurer, one health network. This was going on in every single locale in the United States. And it was set up 4 months in advance. So that's why I started a website called World Must Know, which we ended up starting. It was probably the world's most comprehensive COVID timeline. We had, I'd say we had every single state. We had Canada. We had legitimately, I'd say about 30 to 40 countries that we actually kept track of their government timeline and everything, what they were doing with sanctions and whatnot. And we had that up there where we were starting getting 30,000 hits a day. And people wanted to talk about how they couldn't see the loved ones, how they were locked out of their churches. They couldn't see their dying loved ones in a nursing home that was mandated and put there due to testing positive for COVID when they had their own home. And the kicker was when people were dying in car accidents, they were listed as COVID deaths.
Right.
So that
was. Yeah. Go ahead.
So people wanted to comment, and we were like, well, we don't have the ability to do that with just this website. So we opened up, it was World Must Know. That was the website. And that's why we started World Must Know Now, which is obviously a derivative, which Matt is actually helping us with the logo. But that's what Wimkin stands for, WMKN. And we made a social media for everyone to contribute. And let me tell you, probably the very worst time to start one, because we were hit immediately 4 months in. We were number 1 on both app stores when we were banned. And it was only because of free speech. We don't allow pornography, no nudity, no types of criminal element. But they certainly found a way to ban us very, very quickly. And they blamed us for the alleged insurrection. So it's been a rough go.
Why do you think that was? Why do you think that was? What stemmed from, hitting you guys on the insurrection and the J6 stuff? Was there anything in particular?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So everybody wanted us out of the app stores. And if you look at you guys know our platform now. We are the only free speech platform that actually has features like we do. We're streaming this right now on our platform for, we allow up to 4-hour streams for free. We have encrypted voice and video calling. We have groups, pages. You can upload 100 gigabyte videos. We are the only thing designed like Facebook that actually offers free speech. And we still are, because it's very hard to build something like this. So they saw that threat first and foremost and said, okay, there's so many avenues to disseminate information that they were truly threatened by it. And we still get hit every day. And we didn't even get into anything yet. This is just the app stores at this point in time. But let me tell you, 3 days after Parler, which I am openly going to say Parler was 100% a honeypot. And if anybody doesn't believe that, please, as you're listening and watching this, just put in your internet search bar 70 TB, as in 70 terabyte, Parler, Parler, and you will find out that probably 75% of J6 prisoners are there because of the Parler platform. They just happened to one day forget on January 6th to forget to scrub GPS metadata from people's posts. So anybody in and around the Capitol, they had their data. One more thing, guys, just because I'm on this Parler kick here. Do you guys remember? I don't know if you use Parler, but if you remember, to send a message on their platform, just a message, you had to send your ID. They wanted a front and back copy of your ID and a selfie. So not only did these people literally on January 6th forget to scrub metadata, and then it was somehow stolen by a hacker named Donk Envy. We're talking 70 terabytes of data that was provided to the federal government. Not only did they have that data and their GPS locations on that day, they had their IDs attached to their account, their home addresses, legitimately. They're little every single thing about them. I mean, they're iKeller. If you really think about it, Matt, you understand where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Certainly the driver's license numbers and everything. They had so much about it. And people to this day don't understand. And they say, oh, well, AWS treated them bad. John Matz was the founder of Parler. Do you know where he worked for 6 years before as an executive?
No.
AWS. AWS. So people need to really, this is why I do this. This is why I still do this. This is why I'm so vocal about it. People need to research their platforms. When you stand up to the J6 Collect Committee like we did, when you stand up to the app stores and do not bow down to them, that's a platform you should be on. Those are people you should actually talk to. And you should heed these warnings. We're not asking you for an ID. We don't ask for a credit card. We don't even verify your email when you sign up because we don't want it. We don't allow you to sign up with a phone number because we know where the government goes with these things. And that's what I really want right off the bat to say is do your research, plain and simple. Stop falling for these things. You guys are supposedly patriots. Act like it. Be smarter than they are, plain and simple. Sorry, that's my little tangent.
No, man, it's a good message. The one thing about this audience is that they're used to hearing the truth, even if they don't like it. And I think we all have to be very conscientious of. Listen, we all know we can be found through a phone. We all know that privacy is an illusion, but you don't have to willingly throw yourself to the sharks and chum the water before you dive in. So my whole thought, it's very similar to the Second Amendment. An AR-15 doesn't stop the government from coming at us. It's very much like a bear going after the honeycomb. It's the 1,000 stings that the bear is going to receive that simply dissuades them. If they want in, they're going in. But that bear can be dissuaded by those 1,000 stings. The same thing is here, is we don't have to contribute to it. But it's interesting. I've been on the platform. I appreciate you. You know that we have several platforms that we use in social media, but predominantly Spreely TV is a lot of our video distribution and news distribution, and Wimkin is preferred for social media. I'm spending a lot of time on there. We're streaming the show there, and so far I'm just pleasantly surprised at how easy it is to use, how intuitive it is, and there's no hiccups. Like, I'm not seeing ads every 5 seconds. I'm not getting pop-ups every 5 seconds. I'm not getting Facebook jumping in and saying, hey, you can't post that, or this needs to be fact-checked. How did you make it where it's not like Twitter, which is going downhill with just it's free speech? It's not free speech anymore. It's just anarchy inside that app. How have you maintained to ensure that you don't have all this junk and crap bogging your platform down?
Well, you know what? First and foremost, Matt, our user base, and I'm not even biased when I say this, our user base is fantastic. You know, they saw what we had before we were banned by the app stores for 8 months, and they said, we don't want to be banned. We're talking about you couldn't update your apps. We were deplatformed by Apple. I mean, at least on Android, you could still sideload and do some things. But, you know, these people never wanted to see that happen again. They were, I don't want to use the term addicted to Wimkin, but they loved it. They had everything they could ever possibly want, you know, with common sense, free speech. We're not killing anybody. We're not threatening to kill anybody. No pornography and no nudity. You can talk about what you want. You can say your beliefs. You can say your opinions. So they saw that. And these individuals, those are the ones that, and police is not the right term, but they're the ones that police the platform in terms of, you know, where it comes down to, hey, I don't think this belongs here. Now, nobody wants to censor anybody. I mean, I really don't. But if you're that dumb to come on our platform and start sharing pornography, nudity, or, you know, let's say, dear God, I don't even want to give anybody ideas at this point in time, to be quite honest with you. But anything that goes against, basically, that is a crime, you know, that's what we don't allow. So essentially, we really went down a line to say, hey, look, we're not going anywhere with anything. We're gonna draw this line straight up right here to where we're not moving forward to with, you know, we've had Apple and Google Play said you can come back in if you just change your terms, if you do this, if you don't allow vaccination comments. I mean, they had a whole line of listings here. So I think right then and there, when we first, this happened in, let's say, January of 21, when we first saw this coming down the line. So we were only in business for 4 months. We were able to learn very quickly how we should be, designed. That's when we said we're not going to verify email addresses anymore. We're not going to allow people to sign up with a phone number or any other thing, text message type of SMS service. And from there, I think just the users got so intelligent about what we were doing and trying to keep them safe to where they actually keep the platform safe. We don't
Yeah.
have, like you said, the bots and, our manual approval. Trust me. And I'm sorry to Sarah Nichols, 100%. We did approve her. I don't know how that was missed because she didn't look like a bot or scammer. So sorry, Sarah, I apologize. But, at this point in time, it's realistically just the users and, how incredible they are to protect what they have.
So I want to stay on this topic, but I've got to interrupt because Amy Stancombe has called in and she is at work. And Amy, are we still okay? Do you have a minute or two?
I'm fine. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So I want to tell a quick story, and this is important. And the mod community is ridiculously amazing. And I will say this. I was talking to Jason about this. I have some of the most loyal listeners. And I've seen the listeners for other channels. I've followed radio. I had a podcast before this that was in the nerd and pop culture community that was very successful. And I've just seen fans over the years. And the one thing I will tell you is that I don't consider them fans. And I consider them more family than anything because it is a tight-knit community. And anybody can kind of enter it. Who has an open mind and just is willing to demonstrate a modicum of respect. And we have people come in all the time. And there's people that I could sit here and tell you all day long as far as the moderators, as far as Kristen and Amy, the other Amy, we've got Lee, Glenn, and it just everybody comes in and just helps in a way that is fantastic and just helps promote the show. And Amy Stancombe came in. Amy, how long ago were you here? When did you start watching?
2 years ago.
Yeah, so 2 years. Oh, and Sarah Nichols also, and God, I know
Kevin.
I forgot Maureen, and who else did I forget?
Kevin. Mel.
Yep. Anybody else? Mel. God, how can I forget Mel? There's
Glenn.
yes.
Glenn.
Who else did I forget?
Jared.
Anybody else? I don't think so. Okay, so that's the most of our mods. Then, of course, Amy and Leroy have for the longest time. Leroy has been here for about 3 years and a couple months, and then Amy has been here since the beginning. And they've never taken a dime, ever. They've gotten some shirts, they've gotten new cameras and mics and whatever I can do to help them, but they've never really done it because it wasn't the part of the conversation. So, Amy, how long ago did you lose your husband? Has it been a year yet?
October 2022.
Okay, so
18 months.
Okay, so 18 months. Yeah, it's time. Time is a vacuum in this show because I wake up one day and then the next day bleeds into another. So it has been a year. It's incredible how quickly time flies. Amy, can you just? I don't want to get into too much. I don't want to put you on the spot. I know you're working. Can you just walk through how you lost your husband and then the struggle with your son and all of this, and just can you give us a quick recap? Would you mind?
My husband struggled with addiction most of his life, and he got pulled over one day, position, oxycodone. He handed it over to the cop willingly, told my son to hand over whatever he had. They knew they had to go to court, so they enrolled in a recovery program, make it look good on the judge. He didn't want to get clean, he just wanted to look good. Went through the recovery program, went through court, went through all his probation, started using again, but it progressed from oxycodone to heroin. The heroin was tainted with fentanyl, and it killed him. I was working third shift at the time. Came home, 7 o'clock in the morning, kissed him, went to bed, woke up, I found him face down in a pile of his own vomit, blue and dead. Paramedics said he'd been gone for a couple hours. There's nothing they could do. My son immediately stopped using. He's still in his recovery program. He's in Suboxone Clinic, which I have mixed feelings about that, but he hasn't. It was a really hard life lesson for him to get clean, but he's been successful so far.
Amy, I can't thank you enough for walking through that. And if anybody's listening right now, a lot of people jump in and then they hang for a second and then they jump out. I would recommend that you stick around. This was, everyone knows how I do this show. I don't want accolades. Everyone knows that I've given money to viewers and helped viewers or helped military. And I don't, a lot of people know my story about Tammy's Diner, and they tossed words around in the paper and said hero and all this. And then I called the paper to retract some of those stories because it isn't about that. I don't want those things. And I've never wanted those things. I always try to just give you the truth and be as humble as I can. And whenever I'm in somebody's space, it's my job to pay attention to them to the utmost and give them the personal attention that they deserve when they're in front of me. That's always been kind of my life thing. Jason and I are kind of cut from the same cloth. Jason is not an attention seeker. Jason is not an opportunist. You can tell just by the way he's talking right here, if you have not built an instant relationship with him, knowing that he is not doing some of the things that would easily make him hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, if he just monetized his platform. It's where Zuckerberg was before he became the devil. And I truly believe that. And Zuckerberg was at one point a purist and altruistic in his nature. At least he says he was. And then that went all by the wayside, and he has sold his soul. A lot of people know that Wimkin and the Don't Unfriend Me show, along with Spreely TV, are two of our partners, and we work together. And I met Jason about a year ago through a hockey conversation where I guess I didn't say some things I thought I did. But either way, he started watching the show, and I know this, and I'm going to let you tell a little bit about this, Jay. But a year later, he came on and he just posted something on a meme that I saw, and I said, Wimkin. And I said, I'm going to go ahead and take a look. And I started to, and I started researching it. And then I reached out and said, hey, let's get this thing going. I'm ready. It took me a year. And the oxen move slow, but the earth is patient. The reason I tell you this story is because today we were negotiating, talking just a little bit about what it would look like from a responsibility standpoint from the Don't Unfriend Me show, what shows we provide, how often we interact, just those basic things. And Leroy came up, and Amy came up, and Olivia came up, and I came up, and I was really appreciative that Jason immediately included the other hosts on the show, and it just floored me. Like, I was so amazed. And then I asked him a simple question, and I said, there's a couple things that are taking place as far as for Amy and Leroy and Olivia. Could all of us kind of take a little bit of what we have from you and just shave a little bit off and help Amy Stancombe? She's a moderator. She's amazing. She's helped us. She's kind of helps lead the mods. And even though all the mods deserve something and everybody deserves something, can you help us? And the answer blew me away. It was with no equivocation, yes. And so I called Amy and I told her, and I said, hey, here's what you're getting. And I think Amy was so excited and pumped up. I don't want to speak for her. But then out of the blue, right before the show, I get a text from Jay, and it says, we're going to do this instead. So Jason, I'm going to allow you to do this because I know this makes you uncomfortable as hell, but it's really important because I think Amy not only deserves it, but the Lord works in mysterious ways. And even the story you told me of the number, how that works out, I think she deserves and the listeners deserve to hear. So would you take it from here for me?
Yeah, absolutely. I will. So, Amy, what Matt just gave you, it was the best rundown possible. I mean, we're trying to do some things where it helps each other out. You know what I mean? It's certainly where it's not just one-sided. We're trying to grow the show. We're trying to grow Wimkin, and there's synergy between both of us. We're true patriots, and that's very rare now these days. And what he said about you today was that, legitimately, you're part of the lifeblood of this platform, right? And their actual show, and you feed comments. You're literally working. You're working right now, and you're on this show. So it says a lot about you. But So he asked if we could do something for you. And, of course, first and foremost, I'm like, sure. Now, that number was completely different than what I'm about to say right now, because as you've seen tonight, when you commented on the post, Wimkin is a part of a brand new fentanyl test that's going to save a ton of lives. That could have saved your husband's life. I mean, if he just had this test, it wouldn't have destroyed his product. So we don't want to advocate for drug use. Let's be honest there. But if he had this, it still could have saved his life. So because our test does not destroy the product, and it will test for a grain of salt in any powder, any gel, any paste, any surface, plus any liquid. If you drop this in liquid, it will tell you if it's positive for fentanyl. And you drop water on the actual dropper. I'm sorry, on the actual stick from the dropper. You don't touch the product. So this is going to save a lot of addicts' lives. We don't want to push it to addicts, but then again, we really do in a way, because those are the people that this really could save a lot of. So, but long story short is, you commented on my post. I had no idea that you lost your husband in October of 22. And I knew from your name, because Matt brought you up earlier in the day, that this was you. So I'm not sure if Matt told you a number from today, but I just want to multiply that number by 5 to what you're actually going to get, because I want you to know that we care. I want you to know that Wimkin cares about you. I want you to know that we're in this for a fight. The border crisis is a huge issue of why this fentanyl is happening to people and why people are getting accidentally poisoned. And let's be honest, through the addiction aspect, there are overdoses, but a lot of these are poisonings, and it's actually murder when it comes down to it. So we want to help you. We want to get involved. And, Matt, like he said, this wasn't something I actually wanted to even do on the show, but he said, hey, listen, our audience is the way that our audience is. They would love to hear this. So, if you would accept our offer, I'd be happy to give you 25 shares of Wimkin, and, see if you can actually work with us and be an advocate for what we're trying to do on the fentanyl side.
Absolutely. A lot of it's actually law in customs back in 2018 during the Trump administration, where they don't inspect packages from China under a certain dollar amount, like $800 or something. And a lot of these teenagers, young adults, are dying from fentanyl because they order a pill, they think it's a Percocet or whatever, and it's just pure fentanyl. And it's coming through the mail, through Snapchat, Instagram, Cash App, and I mean, they just think it's a Percocet, but it's killing them. And fentanyl is the number one killer of young adults under the age of 30.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Amy, it's a testament to you that you just received something that's life-changing. It is. It's life-changing. And it impacts your finances. It impacts your livelihood. It impacts your future. And the fact that you immediately start focusing on other people other than yourself is a testament to who you are. You're one of my most trusted and respected friends that I've ever had. And the work you've done for us and has been incredible. And we love you. And this is to everybody. I mean, listen, my goal, one day I want a $10 million contract so I can literally change people's lives who've supported this show. That's what I want. I want that more than anything else in the world. That's all I want. And yeah, I'll keep enough to keep my show going, and so I can get my ribeye steaks and stuff like that. But I want that more than anything. So this is what we can do. This is what we can do now. And you're an incredible help. And Jason, the one thing he did not tell you, and I don't care if he gets mad at me because it's too late. He has to keep a straight face. Is that the way that the shares worked when we discussed this? Is that the number of shares that he had to award, which he can't just give shares away. He's a CEO. He has to go to the board. He has to justify what he's doing. And he took shares out of his own personal stock to give to you. And he won't tell you that, but I'll tell you that. And the number worked out perfectly, so everyone got an equal portion. You got the same share as me, the same share as Olivia and Leroy, and that's how much you're valued. So we love you and thank you, and you need to get back to work because we're not there yet. But we got to figure out what else you can do, because I know when Jason learns who you are and how freaking smart you are, wicked intelligent, he's going to want to keep you around. So thank you, Amy. We love you.
Thank you.
Amy.
I'll still be listening. I've got work to do, but I'm a little overwhelmed, so I have to
Love you,
pull
Amy.
myself together for a minute.
We'll talk soon. Thank you, Amy, for everything you do.
Thanks, Jason.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Ames. God, dude, that's fuck. How do you bottle that feeling and replicate it and just figure out how to do it more often? And I've been addicted to that feeling since about 4 years ago. And with there was a diner here, Jay, and we went to this diner. We'd never been to it. I'm not a greasy spoon guy. I take care of my body. I have no idea why, but we went in there. And it was COVID, and we met a beautiful person named Tammy Hines, who sounds a lot like Amy, and is as caring and tough. And she just comes and helps us, and all the kids order, and they're like, "Thank you, ma'am, no, ma'am," and you know they're doing what they're supposed to do. And she's just watching us. She goes, "Your kids are very well behaved," and just starts talking to us. And then we ask her, "How are you doing during COVID?" And she just, dude, she just breaks, just bankruptcy. I'm gonna have to close the doors.
It was the 4-year death of her daughter.
4-year death of her daughter was horrible. So we drive home after having some of the greatest blueberry pancakes. Actually, no, I was eating oatmeal and white eggs, and she finally turned me to start grubbing on pancakes, which is probably why I have to work out so hard now. But anyway, so as we're driving home, I just look at Olivia and I said, we're going to do something for her. And I've got like 20,000 followers. And we'll see if we can get her a couple $100 and maybe it'll help her out. And we created a Facebook. I've never done it before. I have no idea what this is. And I've never done anything like this. And it felt like a muse was tapping on my shoulder. We wound up raising like $14,250, kept her open, and now her restaurant's thriving.
That's amazing.
That feeling, dude, you know what I'm talking. It's so amazing to be able to do that. So thank you for what you've done. You've earned a level of loyalty that I can't describe in words, that you'll just have to understand is I'll pay it back in giving back as much as you have. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome, but I don't need anything. I don't want anything. All we're doing is getting to the same goal and through the same type of fight. But thank you so much.
You got it. People want to know what you're listed under on Wimkin. What's your tag? Ours is at the DUM Show.
So my first profile just got way too big, but it was at I believe Jason S, and then the second one I believe is Wimkin Jason, so WIMKINJASON, and that one has about 90,000 people on it. The first one had about 200,000, but back in that day I was getting about 8,000 messages a day, and a lot of people just wanted to say thank you, and that was great. I love it, but when it comes down to actual platform issues, when you're actually building and developing, it became too much, so I had to close that one down and start a different profile. But I believe I'm under Wimkin Jason, and you're welcome to find me there. I'm very interactive on the platform, as people know, and 100%. Anybody needs anything, I'm right there.
If you could see chat, dude, it's just you do have the ability when you're in here, you can actually pull down a button and see the comments, dude. People are just like freaking. Jason's hero. I'm crying. No, you're crying. Yeah, Sandra Casey talked that she lost her grandson.
I'm sorry, not to interrupt you at all. That was tough for me. The only time I ever got emotional on a podcast was with Mickey Whithoff, which was Ashley Babbitt's mom, and I was the host. So good kudos for you guys for not getting too upset about that. But we did ours on January 3rd, 3 days before her, the anniversary of the death of her daughter. So but yeah, that was incredible story. I don't need any kudos. And Matt actually sort of dragged me into doing this because I was like, we can do it offline. Yeah. It's okay. But I'm glad we did, because it shows humanity. I think people need to see things like this.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest here. The people that are watching this show, the people that are on Wimkin, all of us we've all been through a lot of different things in our life. Now, of course, liberals and Democrats, and no matter who you are from any walks of life, you certainly have been through something, but all of us collectively sort of have been stamped on and trampled, you know what I mean? And we're standing up for other people that don't even understand what's going on. I mean, just look at these college campuses where you have 19 and 20-year-olds protesting what they have no idea what they're protesting for. They're just told to do something. So I think it's good to see, and it shows the level of humanity that people, after we were banned from the app stores, domestic terrorist, bigot somehow, I don't understand that one. geez, racist. I have no idea. I have a African American. I'm the godfather of an African American child, so I
Mm.
have no idea how I'm a racist either. But this is what people have said, and you know what? It'll roll off my back. So sometimes it is good for people to see these things, and see the level of humanity, and see, honestly, like you said, Matt, for 4 years you were sort of driven to that. That's what Wimkin is here for. Wimkin is seriously here to let people have a platform and let them have a voice first and foremost, to where they can't say what they want to say. I mean, people, not only are they letting you, when they don't let you say what you want, it's letting you not believe what you want. It's also letting you not feel what you want. So I think this was very, very, especially coming from you, very natural, and also at the same time, it certainly was genuine. So I'm 100% okay with that.
Well, good, because then now we're going to tell you this, because not only are we the Hair Club presidents, but we're also clients. You have impacted my wife and I's life in 24 hours, like we can't even begin to tell you. And you know,
My pleasure to
you
do
don't,
it.
yeah, you don't know how my faith in God has went back and forth over the years for well, maybe you do. You've watched the show. So there's many things in my life that makes me challenge. And they say there are no atheists in foxholes, but that's about it. There's people who question God and never come back. And I see little things like this all the time. And Olivia and I were faced with some incredible challenges this year. And we just looked at each other and said, we'll be fine. Something. And that is the dumbest thing for a guy like myself who worked with Mossad and IDF, worked with some of the best guys in teams and British SAS. You don't leave things to chance. Hope is not a strategy. You have a plan. You execute the plan. You work the plan, and you don't leave things to chance. Well, we did. We just said things will work out. We'll figure it out. And I don't know, man. It's hilarious. I feel like I know you. I feel like you're a brother, and what you've done for us and been so giving and asked for so little in return. It's rare that you have a handshake person. So I'm going to do something and ask everybody, please do me a favor. If you have not had a chance to interact with Jason, do yourself that favor. I'm not asking you to go on Wimkin. Just do it here. If you have questions, ask him. If you just want to reach out by email, I'm sure he'll give it to you. But either way, just have that relationship, because they are out there. There are people out there, and we have found some amazing people with this show. And if we can connect you guys with a great guy, then Jason is definitely the one. Join Wimkin too, but you get my point. Let's talk. We got too emotional, getting all freaking. Liv, did you have something? You've been sitting there and the waterworks were kicking on. You got something to say?
Just listening. You know me.
Not the best color commentator in the industry.
I've got 6 platforms up, and I'm monitoring all of them, and so I'm
How are
woman
we-
of little words.
How are we doing tonight, by the way? We good on Wimkin? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So far, so good.
All right, Jason. Now I got a couple questions for you. Wanted to uncover your thoughts on TikTok. That was probably one of the things that I have not had a chance to discuss with you. I think it is a huge topic of concern right now, because you have Donald Trump who really has flip-flopped on the issue. I mean, everyone says that, oh no, he always loved TikTok. No, he wasn't a big fan of TikTok. And then I think someone got in his ear and said, if you do this, then everything else goes. What are your thoughts on TikTok, China company, ban it, not ban it? What are your thoughts?
Okay, so first and foremost on this, this wasn't supposed to happen. So if you, obviously, I think most of your viewers understand the Patriot Act. That was warped into something it was never supposed to be. Correct. So the Restrict Act started out as one thing. It was supposed to, limit us as, a nation working with foreign adversaries, and they would be able to shut off, apps and any type of economics and industry that's between these 7 foreign adversaries is what they were. China was one of them. So now, me understanding tech, TikTok is absolutely the devil to you. They have your banking passwords. They have if you go into your phone with your thumbprint or whatever finger you use, they have that fingerprint. If you use facial recognition, they have it. Matt will tell you how dangerous that is right off the bat. We're not talking just banking passwords. We're talking about the fact they have your thumbprint, the fact they have your facial recognition, because most criminals are being caught now by facial recognition. So not that anybody's criminals out there, but this is something that it's something that we're going into, especially with artificial intelligence. China's far ahead of the game. And, Matt has been military, he's been intelligence. Wars are not going to be won by power now. They're going to be won with technology. So this is what is very, very scary about TikTok, and the fact that that algorithm is definitely coming from China. It's a CCP, Chinese Communist Party, engineered application. So granted, I don't like the government saying you have to sell it. I don't like them banning anything like this, but this one to me is a true national security risk. Now, you can argue Facebook, X, all these other American platforms, they are certainly almost just as intrusive. They're not that intrusive, but they're very close to being that intrusive. But the fact that no one can trust China. I mean, I certainly wouldn't. I mean, Matt, would you?
No.
No. So when you have 300 million Americans that are on this app, that should scare the hell out of everybody watching this right now, because
Yeah,
this does
exactly.
not just go down to a simple situation where, oh, they just want to ban this, they just want to control this. To a certain point, I think it got warped into control because they saw what they could do, just like they did with the Patriot Act, what they could do with this bill. Because if you remember when Donald Trump first came out and said, I want to ban TikTok, the entire left said, you are nuts.
Yep.
You are absolutely nuts. Now, bipartisan, it's being banned. So that's when you have to watch and you have to wonder, why are Democrats now stepping up and saying that we want this banned? I guarantee you they don't care about your safety. They care about the fact they can control you and they can placate you into something else that they're going to throw down the line. I mean, we've all just survived the most incredible, crazy psychological experiment that I think any of us has ever seen. Maybe not Matt, but in terms of what we all on a mass level seen with COVID, the lockdowns, the vaccinations, the being forced by your employers just to feed your family to get a shot. I mean,
it's the worst.
survived.
It's the worst.
Yeah. I kind of figured it would be. I didn't know stuff with the Mossad is a little different, but
but understand that that's on a smaller scale. This was global, right?
Yeah,
this was more
worldwide.
impactful, in my opinion, outside of World War I and World War II. Probably one of the most impactful things that have happened because it impacted everybody. Go ahead.
But it also showed how weak we are as billions of people against a mere 2 million leaders. I mean, that's what they wanted to see. They wanted to see how easy they could run us. There's so many, and your brethren, I mean, your brothers and sisters, so many in the military knew something was wrong, but what did they do? They had to fall in line. We all had to fall in line if you actually wanted to have any type of a life. If you wanted to be able to feed your family, if you wanted to be able, I mean, also the one thing that really gets me is they took away worship. They took God out of everything, which you're seeing every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's their goal. I think that was the last thing to get returned was worship, and especially in New Jersey, I know that for a fact. But it's all right there on the table if you just take a step back and look at it all abstractly, and that's another reason why Wimkin exists, so people can actually do that and learn from not even what we'll call truth, but real facts. Hey, this happened. I'll justify it happened with a video. That's why we have on our app. You could take, you could live stream from your app, or you can do like you are right now, Matt, through an RTMP stream, through software. We want people to be able to be on scene and capture whatever they need to capture to prove this is what World Must Know stands for. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So what we went through with COVID, I think it weakened us all as a people. And I hear so many people saying, well, I'm not going to vote anymore, which kills me because that's what they wanted. That's literally what they wanted, and you're falling right there. These are the staunchest patriots. At least they think they're patriots. And many of these people on my platform, and I'm calling you out right now, every single one of you says, I'm never going to vote again. Get out there and get off your ass and vote.
Right.
Because that's exactly what they wanted you to do. What you are right now, they made you, and you let them, and you're still letting them. And this is what you need to see.
I want to jump on because just really quick. After the election and we lost in 2020, the first thing I said was that we have no time to rest on our laurels. You have a runoff election in Georgia, which is going to decide the Senate, and I condemned the disenfranchisement of voters and said enough of this shit. Don't listen. I'm not going to vote. I'm protesting that. I said if you do this, the purse strings are controlled by the House and the legislation is controlled by the Senate. You are going to have an unfettered check, you just bounce over and over and over from what they're going to overall spend. Look what they're doing. This is all because of a decision we made in Georgia, and we have made a huge mistake. So the last thing is I can blame the government too. I can blame the world leaders, but we are complicit because
Yes.
I understand we had to follow. That's fine. Follow. I understand we gotta feed, we gotta work. You got family. I do too. I understand that. Okay, my days of fighting are over. But you didn't have to promote this shit. You didn't have to fucking go on your social media and, do a M2M mask, telethon. You didn't have to go on there and post memes about how Republicans are stupid and anti-vaxxers are the devil and we're the new Nazi. You could have simply said, okay, I'm going to do what you say because you're telling me, but I'm not going to help you do it. Because that's the difference in 1940 Germany and what happened in COVID is that the populace, you joined them and you shat all over your fellow citizen and believed this bullshit. And we told you don't. And I was probably one of the most least vocal about COVID because I'm like this. If you need to get a vax, if you're at a certain age, I can understand. You have nothing to lose when you're 85 years old, okay? You might want to look at this if your doctor thinks it's safe, but not for me. Not for you. I'm going to do what my doctor says. It's between you and your doctor. Government should not get involved in this. That was really my stance in the whole thing because I am not a doctor. But the one thing I didn't do was peddle the bullshit and go out there and say, you got to wear a mask. You got to get vaxxed. You got to do this. So there is a way to handle things. And you guys remember that shit the next time this happens. Don't be the mouthpiece for the people you are uncomfortable with or the people you should be questioning. They work for us. It's not the other way around. Here's a video. You wanted to challenge and talk about to your Wimkin followers and the people on your platform. I want to talk to the people who keep putting their flag upside down.
Yeah.
And I want to watch Bill Maher say this, and I want you to listen. I hit Bill Maher last week, but this week I want you just to listen. Stop. Don't get upset. Don't get mad. If your flag's upside down right now, don't turn off the show. Just listen to what I'm going to tell you after this, and we're going to have a conversation as a group. Here it is. Listen. And HBO, don't you freaking copyright me because you know you're going to lift it up anyway. So don't hit me on this.
Right now, I'm just asking about the flag and flying it upside down. I mean, Trump called McCain, he said he's not a war hero. He's called military people losers. He wouldn't go to that cemetery in France because it was raining. He said the other day, Memorial Day, this is his tweet, "Happy Memorial Day to all, including the human scum that is working so hard to destroy our once great country." Don Jr., after the verdict, called this country a third world shithole. I remember they went nuts when Obama didn't wear his suit coat in the Oval Office.
Yes.
I'm just asking about this weird double standard of who gets to shit on America and still be deemed patriotic. It's bizarre to me. Is it not to you?
I find it really offensive that on Memorial Day, President Trump would talk about this country being once great. Memorial Day is all about those who died for this country to be great. And the people who are wearing uniforms now and risking their lives to keep this country great, that's an insult to them. It's an insult to the immigrants who want to come to this country legally and be part of this country. It's an insult to the people who invest their money in our stock markets. It's an insult to the police officers. It's insulting to everybody. We don't need to make America great again. America is great, and it's the greatest country.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I can't. Okay, so I'm not going to give my opinion first because obviously we know where I'm coming from. Olivia, your thoughts on Bill Maher is referencing flying the flag upside down and how people are saying the country's in distress and they're putting it in their profile pics and all this other stuff. What are your thoughts on putting the flag upside down? Is it something that you understand?
It's only if you're in distress. That's what it means. You fly it regular any other time. I mean, it's disrespectful to do it any other way. So if you're going to fly your flag upside down, why don't you go to a different country and fly their flag upside down and be a part of them? Just stay out of ours.
The best thing that I can think of is if you have a crucifix, why don't you just go ahead and roll that thing upside down when you're having a crisis of faith, because it represents something that you don't want to represent, an upside down cross, because it has a meaning. The same thing with the flag. Jason, your thoughts?
So first and foremost, what are these individuals saying they're flying it upside down for? Does anybody
yes, the country and the nation is in distress, is that it's being held hostage right now by Joe Biden and the tyrannical government.
Okay, so yes, that's a little bit far-fetched to me. These are the people we just spoke about a few minutes ago that aren't going to vote. Honestly, you're going to be able to
Right.
lump them into the same situation. Now, I get the fact, if you're thinking about this, Bill Maher's not a liberal, even though sometimes, I mean, he just looks like one. Let's be honest here, the way he
Yeah,
looks,
he's not. He's
the
not a
way he
liberal at
sounds.
all, actually.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
He's not a liberal though, but he just looks like one. And some of the things he says come off that way, but that's probably just the most controversial. But let's go back to what really disrespected the flag and how the left got so behind this, and they're still behind it. Colin Kaepernick,
Yep.
NFL support. There's kneeling during the national anthem, kneeling on a flag, doing all these things that we saw in the nation's number one. I know hockey's your favorite, but the nation's number one spectator sport, the billions of dollar industry in this country. So for them to sit there and say, oh my God, and just to reference this because I'm so analytical, yes, some people said, I don't even know what he's talking about. Obama saying or doing something, not wearing a coat in the Oval Office. He was president then. Trump is not president right now, even though he probably did win that election. There's no doubt about it. People are very upset about that. This is different. This man is gag ordered in the dumbest case we've ever seen in the history of this country. Let's be straight up honest here. Utilizing federal and state law to get a conviction on something that's not even a crime, that we don't even know what the crime is. So I get people say things out of frustration, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a Trump supporter. There's no doubt about that. But he can speak better. He's not very presidential with his mouth. Now, some people love that. I sometimes absolutely love that because what the man, during COVID, even before he even got the nomination, what he had to deal with the mainstream media. I get that he's probably just so quick to do these things now, but especially during COVID, my God, the setup questions that he always was a part of. But I understand people's frustration right now, but I think it's up to people like you, Matt, that served your country. I think it's up to people that are in office that actually can make a difference to tell these people what they're doing wrong, and to, like we just talked about, the voting aspect. Make a difference, change, and let's look at positivity and how we can actually change this in November rather than dwell on it. Yeah, if you want to make a statement, just try it a different way. Go out and turn 3 voters today. That'll be so much more productivity than flying a flag upside down, which is going to get you nothing but hate.
It's not even okay. A few things. I despise Colin Kaepernick. I think he's one of the biggest twat waffles on the planet. I have spoken out against him ad nauseum. I have challenged his ethos because everything he says is a lie. First of all, he did not take a knee. Yeah, he won't. There's not a chance that he would face me. There's just no fucking way. 90% of the people out there. Then go get him. Contract him and throw him on my show. I'll take it. I mean, shit, let's do it. Let's start doing it. Let's get people. Let's pay them and bring them on. And I will knock those pins down all day long and promote the ones who deserve to be promoted. But Colin Kaepernick didn't start off with a knee. He started off sitting on his fucking fat, lazy ass that got him 3rd string in San Francisco. Then he tried to explain it away when the press was negative and said, oh, I'm doing it for unarmed black victims, which there's only 17 annualized on average every single year. Black unarmed shootings. It's a fallacy. It's a complete fucking joke. So anyone to sit here and says that that's what he's doing, he's not. This guy is an absolute, you want to say grifter? He's Hodgkin's. His parents are white. He was adopted. He grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. He went to fucking Stanford. Okay, so can we stop pretending that Colin Kaepernick is a great white hope? And what is up with what is up with the left posturizing people who are complete fuck ups, whether it be Colin Kaepernick or George Floyd? Can you guys get some role models? There's people out there who are amazing, who will absolutely just rock your world if you listen to them. Tom Sowell, Ben Carson. Fantastic.
Yes.
You can listen to Larry Elder. He's amazing. And you don't even have to go just with the left. You can, or the right, you can go with the left too. But get some real role models. Number 2, I support
those
people.
Are Uncle Toms to them. You know that, right?
No, of course they are.
That's
of course
their exact term.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Of course. A brain surgeon and an economist. But if they had a gender studies degree, they would be something else. So here's the second thing. Is I support, if you want to fly the flag upside down, you have 100% my support, and I believe you have the right to do that. And I have the right to tell you what I'm going to tell you right now. You're a fuck up. Okay? There it is. It is not designed. It was originally designed. First of all, flag etiquette is very, very important to me. Okay? There's a reason why I have a 30-footer outside my house. 30-footer. And I fly it every single day and every single night. And I retire her properly and I go ahead and present the colors effectively. And there are rules. None of you would allow a flag to touch the ground. Why? Well, because it's actually not written in flag etiquette that it can't touch the ground. But you follow that rule. You follow that rule because you just think, okay, it's on the floor. That's where our feet go. It's dirty. I will never allow that flag to touch the ground. But there is nothing that says that you have to burn a flag that's touched the ground, even though people do. And it is a very strict rule among etiquette followers. But it's not written in flag code. It's just been adopted over the years. But what is that you don't fly the flag upside down. You only fly the flag upside down. It was done by sailors, United States Navy sailors, when their ship was in distress. Means they lost propulsion or they took something on the side, they couldn't move, and they needed help. And very similar to putting up Bravo Zulu flags or whatever else as a signalman, the largest thing on the ship that could be seen from the farthest thing away was usually the flag on the forecastle. Or on the mast. So they would go ahead and they flew it upside down. And that's how you could tell through a pair of binoculars or periscope, you could see a ship from a very long distance away that the flag was indeed upside down. Then they started using it on buildings and such. They use it in the Civil War. They use it in the American Revolution. And the whole point is that when a building is captured or a building is under a distress or there is a threat, it is to warn everybody that there is a threat. Your home is not in danger. Your life is not in danger. What you're doing is you're turning that flag upside down and you're showing disrespect. That is not how she is presented. That is not how she is supposed to fly. And when you do it, you're using it for your own self-interest and nobody else. You would never write on a flag. You would never light a flag on fire. You would never desecrate a flag, and you should not fly it upside down. There are plenty of other ways for you to go ahead and argue your points effectively with words and phrases, tonality in your voice. If you don't know how to do that, watch this show more and I'll teach you. But you flying a flag upside down does not tell people that you're protesting, because it was that you were protesting the vote. Then it was you're protesting Biden. Then you were protesting Afghanistan. Then now you're protesting this decision in court. That's an awful lot of idioms for something that doesn't speak about any of them on its own. Okay, there's
Matt,
my
can
speech.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Yeah,
on
sorry
this?
it went so long. Sorry it went so long.
No. I wanted to touch on this because now, how many patriots, how many people are upset that the left and, geez, I guess it's just the collective left at this point in time, that now they see the American flag as a domestic terrorist ideal, a symbol, legitimately. Yeah. Okay, now everyone's upset about that. So why would you fly it upside down then? Be proud of that flag. Throw it in their face. Don't change it. This is the same thing again. The same thing as not voting, because that's what they wanted you not. They didn't want to be able to you to win an election. We have to be smarter than them, 100%. And just if you sit back and just do a little thinking without your emotions involved, you will be able to get to these.
Caller, you got to mute your phone. You got to mute your phone, please. Mute your phone and turn the show off. Yeah, you're getting echo, horrible echo. Okay, go ahead, Jason. Finish up your thought. We have a caller called in. Sorry, we have to take it right away, and unfortunately it interrupts you. I apologize.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jay.
I don't know what the last thing you heard was. I was just saying, again, going back to the fact that, people aren't voting now because they don't believe it's ever going to work. That's what they wanted. Those patriots that are out there stating, oh my God, these individuals are out there saying the flag's a domestic terrorist ideal and symbol. Don't change your flag. Don't fly it upside down. Throw it in their face and say, I'm proud of this flag the way it is. And that's it. Plain and simple. I mean, stand your ground. The people say that all the time, but I don't think they'll actually do it I'm not talking about stand your ground in terms of a fight and a gunfight and all these things that so many people you see on social media are all about, but they'll never actually be about, Matt. You know this more than anybody. I guarantee you that. So when it comes down to even something like this, turn that flag the right way. Be proud to fly it that way and make a difference rather than being upset about what's going on. You can make that little statement and you're going to go sit on your couch and do nothing, but you'll say, I did that. Get out there, churn some voters, tell people what's going on, get people mad, organize, get people to the polls, and let's take this country back through legal voting.
Some of us have knelt over too many coffins and seen too many tacked coffins to allow it. Just understand this. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. My advice to you is wear it, fly it, represent it proud. If Dan Bongino wants to wear an upside down flag, that's Dan Bongino's cross to bear, not mine. I'll take care of my 6 foot shadow. Caller, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Good to have you on. Who are we talking to?
Hey, it's Frank, Matthew. How you doing?
Hi, Frank. How you been, man?
Hey, Frank.
Doing good. Hi, Olivia.
What do you want to talk about?
Something that came across a little bit earlier about the flag not touching the ground.
Yeah.
And this was something I just learned earlier, was that the reason for that was at Fort Sumter when they were under fire.
Yep.
The things that the guys at Sumter had to go through to keep that flag flying, as demolished as it was getting by British bombardment, they did not allow that flag to touch the ground. And correct me if I'm wrong. Again, this is just what I learned the other day.
Yeah.
And it could be all BS.
No,
but
go
I
ahead.
don't think it is, because it sounds for real.
Sure.
I think that's the reason why you don't let the flag touch the ground. It's in respect for that. Does anybody agree with that?
Well, quickly, I'll answer it because I know the answer to it. So, and then I'm going to open up to everybody. You're absolutely right. The etymology of the story is correct. It's not saying that you should drop the flag and it should touch the ground. It shouldn't. But you don't burn. My statement is you don't burn it afterwards or retire it simply because it touches the ground. It is only if it is stained, soiled, or tarnished. So if it touches the ground and it gets wet with mud, then you wouldn't go wash it. You would retire the flag and surrender it at that point to retirement. And you would do that at the VFW. You would run it through ceremony, take it to the Boy Scouts, firehouse. A lot of people retire the flag properly. So my point is it shouldn't touch the ground. So that's in the code. It shouldn't touch the ground. That is absolutely flag etiquette. As far as burning it, what most people think is that if it touches the grass or it touches the ground, you immediately destroy the flag, and that is 100% not true. That was my point.
I agree totally. I'll go one step further. I'll guarantee you, not a lot of people know what that little ball on top of the flagpole stands for, or what it's even called.
I know what it's called. Tell them.
It's the ball. I'm sorry, the truck.
Truck. It's the truck, yeah. And why is it the truck? Tell them why. Educate them.
Well, it's because what's inside of the truck is matches that you burn the flag with if you are under duress. Mm-hmm. If my learning of this is correct. Now, again, I could be wrong, but that's what I was told, and that's what I learned. Listen, I've heard that story. I know that it's not in flag etiquette. I know a lot of people would say that. I will tell you that that's hard for me to believe. I have heard it attached to the cleat, but not the truck, because getting to the top of that pole is a very difficult task. And I can't imagine. That's the one part that I always had a problem with.
Sure.
All right, how the hell are you going to get up there and get the matches that are there? You know, that's the part that I just could not come to terms with. It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah. So once again, usually the truck is to be replaced with a silver ball on the top, but it's usually used for ornament. You'll see the eagle emblazoned on the top of the truck. It's on my flag behind me. Yeah, Jason, take care of your company. I got this.
I'll be back in 1 second. Thank you.
Take care of your company. So, the truck's designed for several different reasons, but most of it's ornate. You've seen Imperial logo. The fleur de lis been actually displayed on trucks before. Especially there was a French and American ceremony where the trucks had the fleur de lis on them. That was done in American Revolution, in the French Indian Wars. No, American Revolution. So the point is that the truck can be replaced by a multitude of different things, but it does represent the silver ball. And I have heard somebody say that before, but it's not in flag etiquette. I have also heard that on the cleat, there is the ability to, instead of having the flag surrendered to an opposing army, is to retire the flag and surrender it. Probably that's why it's called surrender, when you decide to go ahead and perform the ceremony of destroying the flag. Surrender or to retire the flag, if that makes sense. It's a good question, Frank.
Yeah, you know what?
there's so many things about this country and about our traditions that people do not know, and it would behoove them to really start reading and looking into our history and trying to realize what this country is all about. It's not about Trump. It's not about Biden. It's not about the right or the left. It's not about any of those things. It's about our history and things that the people who preceded us had to go through to get us to the point that where we are now. And that's, I guess, the point that just, pardon my French, pisses me off so much, is that people are so lazy that they will not look into these things. I'm going to be 73 on Sunday.
You sound very spry for 73.
Well, listen, I've seen a lot of crap in my life. I was 30 feet away from Kennedy when I was in grade school. He drove through my town and gave an address at our courthouse.
Oh, shit. I see. Hold on now. Hold on. Yeah, if you were going to tell me you were 30 feet away from Kennedy on the corner of Elm, I was going to shit my pants, because I am the absolute I am a historian when it comes to the John F. Kennedy assassination and his presidency. So, dude, you got my heart pumping when you said that, because I'm like, cancel the show. We're kicking Jason off. Frank, you got billet. So,
hey, all right, hang on a minute.
Okay.
I was brought up Roman Catholic. Okay, went to Catholic grade school, went to Catholic high school. When I was in grade school, before Kennedy became president, he drove. Full disclosure, little town called Belleville, Illinois. He flew into Lambert Airport, drove through Belleville, gave an address at the courthouse in Belleville. Now, we were en route to that drive, and so being a Catholic grade school, we were going to be in full support. So we were on both sides of the road, Main Street, that went right by our Catholic grade school. And I remembered completely standing there and waving and seeing him drive by and waving to us. I mean, it is something it is embedded
That's incredible.
in my mind.
That's
will
incredible.
never forget it as long as I live.
Wow.
And
Kennedy.
Then,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, then a few years later, to watch him be assassinated, and over the loudspeakers, I was in 7th grade at the time. I remember this like it was yesterday. Them telling us that President Kennedy had been assassinated. School was let out. We all went home. I was glued to the TV the entire weekend. I watched Jack Ruby assassinate the assassinator.
Well,
okay.
You saw you saw what appeared to be Jack Ruby assassinating Lee Harvey Oswald. Because I'm going to let you in a little secret. There's a lot of conspiracies. Lee Harvey Oswald wasn't killed that day.
I'll go along with that.
Well, I'll tell you why. You want me to tell you why, Frank? Let me just give you a little bit of information. I am the Olivia will tell you I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You watch my show. I am not a conspiracy theorist at all. Like zero. There's I don't even know there's a conspiracy that I actually buy into. But this is one you've never heard. It was November. Olivia, Dallas, Texas, Houston area. What's the temperature in November in Texas?
80s, 85.
80, 85. Yeah. Correct. So that's number one. Lee Harvey Oswald was taken into the Dallas prison. Do you remember what he was wearing when he came out? And he was actually Elliot and the chief of police went ahead and had him in both arms. Do you remember what he was wearing by chance, Frank?
I think he had a white shirt on. God, now you're taxing my memory.
It's okay. It's okay.
I think he had a white shirt on.
Uh-huh.
I remember him. I remember the guy with the cowboy hat, who was like the lead detective or whatever, had him in one arm. Another guy had him in another arm. Yeah. He comes walking out. Jack Ruby comes in from their left side, extends the gun, and funny how the camera was right there. I don't know. I never really.
Isn't that funny?
It was a perfect. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, was that close?
No, not even close. So I'm going to show you the photo, and it's okay. Your memory of the white hat and suit were absolutely correct. Lee Harvey Oswald was wearing a dungaree light blue standard shirt, which was usually, most people have been in the Navy, long sleeve, by the way, because you can see the cuffs peeking out of it. So he's wearing a long sleeve shirt, which is a polyester blend shirt. They are very uncomfortable.
Okay.
He's wearing a white T-shirt underneath. Automatically, way too effing hot for Dallas. And now he is wearing a 100% wool, which is also with epaulets here and reinforced elbows, a black sweater with black dungaree pants. This is a standard winter outfit, prison wear for people in the month of January and February when it's too cold, because they don't do peacoats, and they never had peacoats like you saw in Alcatraz and other places with cold weather. They didn't have those in Dallas. That's what you got. That was your winter garb. So in the middle of this, he is wearing this outfit. I don't know if you can see it. If you're watching the show, and what happened to the picture? Hold on, dude. That freaking ticker from Facebook is still. Liv, what are we at?
194,240.
Okay. You can see, first of all, that the 38 is leveled gut shot. And
right.
Lee Harvey Oswald, do you see the top of the sweater? What's unique about the curvature of that sweater? What is it doing? Look at that sweater from there you go.
Okay, we must be okay. We're on a time delay here. What I see is the dark sweater. I see the white collar coming off the top of it, but it looks like his arm is in front of the gun.
Well, that's after the reaction of being shot. By the way, if you watch the film and you break it down and you put it in slow motion, he reacts about a second and a half before the shot's even done. So he reacts to it before the trigger was pulled, number one. But here's the real thing. If you look at the sweater from collar to collar, left to right, it's at an angle, and it's dropping about a 7-degree angle from straight flat. Anybody who has worn a flak jacket underneath their clothing and something, or like a sweater or a hoodie or whatever, will understand that it stretches the collar because your collarbone is no longer impacting the sweater. It's actually the flak jacket and the line where it stops. He's wearing a vest.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So you've never heard it. I know, because nobody talks to me about this, because anyone who tries to debate me on this subject, I obliterate and just knock them into hell. I know more about the John F. Kennedy assassination than the experts have forgotten. You know, I've forgotten more about the John F. Kennedy assassination than the experts know, is what I meant to say. I've been studying it my whole life. Yeah.
My question is, why?
He's CIA.
Well, we knew that prior to that. Because they always said he was an asset.
Let me ask you a question. You are now in 1960s. You're in 1960s. What happened in 1950s and 1960s? It used to be in 2010. It was the Afghans, and it was that they're going to bring Sharia law to America. Then it was the homosexuals are going to kill us all with AIDS, and then it was the evil man fighting the system and sending us to Vietnam. What was it in 1950s and 60s? What was the big scare?
Russia.
Russia, atomic weapons. Great. You got it. Frank, you nailed it. It's Russia. Dude, when you're right, just win. You got it. It's Russia. So I want you to go ahead and imagine what would happen. Well, let's just talk about Barack Obama's reaction. When we went ahead and people left and disavowed America, still as American citizens, didn't rescind their American citizenship, and went over and support ISIS and Al-Qaeda, what did Barack Obama do to those people?
Well, let me think.
He killed them.
I believe, I was going to say, I believe he killed them. Didn't he perform more drone strikes?
286 drone strikes. American citizens were targeted and hit, civilian casualties. We don't appreciate people who perform sedition, treason, or leave the country, renounce their citizenship, and go to a foreign enemy. So Lee Harvey Oswald decides...
And isn't it funny how he was never called on any of that?
Oh, wait, I'm not done. Lee Harvey Oswald
is a radio operator. He goes ahead and gets linguistics in Russian. Well, that means you're intel, because I went through linguistics in Monterey, California, too. So he was intel. So the first thing that he was a radio operator is complete bullshit. Just a complete fabrication on his military records. So that's number one. Number two, he decides to defect. He goes to the U.S. Embassy. He announces his determination to defect, and he says that he's going to go to Russia and essentially sell them state secrets and what he knows about radio operating. What that really means is intelligence. He would have been snatched, black-hooded, and thrown into the largest pit in Chateau d'If the moment he said that. But he gets his ticket punched, and he goes to Russia. He works for the White Russian mob. He gets political affiliations. He gets his own job, a cushy apartment. He meets Marina. He has a baby. And then what happens? U-2 spy plane is shot down. We saw that. The untouchable U-2 spy plane. I can't even tell you the altitude it flies at.
Gary Powers.
It's still, that's right, Gary Powers. It's still classified when how high that thing can fly. So they hit it. Which, let me explain to you, that would be very similar from a Millennial Falcon flying at hyperspeed and hitting a star. The odds of it are astronomically huge. But let's say you hit the U-2, fine. All of a sudden, about a year and a half later, he has a kid, he has Marina, and he says, I want to go back to the United States. So the Russian government, who deported nobody, how do they deport them? They put them in Siberia and put a bullet in the back of their head, allows a person to go to the United States and allows their woman and their kid to go with them? How? How is that possible? Why didn't, hold on, I'm not done. It's a rhetorical question. He then comes back to U.S. soil, and what happens? Was the FBI there? Was the DOD there?
No.
Did they have CIA there? Did they black bag him and stick him for treason because he literally sold secrets to Russia? Did he have any of that? No. He decides to go to Louisiana and open up an anti-Cuban Castro movement right in the middle of the United States Navy, Department of Defense, the FBI, the CIA, the ONI, and Department of Justice, all in the intelligence quarter of New Orleans, Louisiana. And he hides amongst everybody who ultimately should hang him from a yardarm.
Didn't he also spend a ton of time in Cuba?
Yes. No, not a lot. He went to Cuba through Mexico several times, and of course was not questioned when he came back. He went to the Cuban embassy and tried to defect and announce his citizenship to go work for them, and they denied him. Okay. He then tried to do it in Mexico as well. But that Oswald, I don't know if it's the same Oswald. There's multiple discrepancies in what he looks like, and at that point, I think the CIA was putting out a lot of smoke and mirrors.
Didn't they think that there was a double that went to Mexico? I mean, I heard that somewhere along the line.
There was wrong. That's what I'm talking about. There is a picture of it, but once again, it's neither here nor there. To unravel any story, you simply just need to find out the one lie. The one lie is if any citizen in the 1950s and 60s and said they're going to go ahead and sell state secrets, they're going to commit treason, and then be allowed to leave, allowed to come back, and allowed to prosper in the United States is one of the biggest travesties and just one of the biggest lies we've ever told. The whole reason why this whole thing came out is Oswald was not supposed to be picked up. Oswald was supposed to be taken, completely black-bagged out of the country and gone. Because in any political assassination, exfil is probably one of the biggest things that you must do, especially when you work for the CIA. And you do the hit, and then you get the fuck out of Dodge. And you leave no remnants of who did it. The same thing has to be held true for a political assassination done by the United States government. And those 14,000 articles that were released pretty much lay it right at the feet of the CIA, Lyndon Baines Johnson, and the United States government.
Well, I got to tell you, you've just laid some shit at my feet that I never thought about before. But I got to tell you, Matthew, you're a genius.
Stop it!
I never looked at these things from that angle before, but now that you've laid that on me, now I'm looking at things a whole lot.
Can I really blow you away? One more little tiny thing. This will take 10 seconds. How long does it take to die of a?
Please.
How long does it take to die of a gut wound from a 38?
I'm going to say 30 seconds, 45 seconds by the time you bleed out.
How about anywhere from 30 minutes to 7 hours?
Really?
A stomach wound is one of the slowest ways to die and one of the most messy and painful ways to die, but you will live for an extended period of time.
You're right.
He shot him in the stomach.
Right.
He shot him in the stomach. How did he survive? Dude, Lee Harvey Oswald was not killed that day. It was to clean up the mess. Jack Ruby was ex-mob. He was Chicago police. There's just so much, dude. If we sat down and had a bottle of scotch and a cigar, I would do what my uncle and I used to do, and he made me look like an idiot.
I would love to do that with you. You know what? Yeah. I'm just south of Fort Bragg. Okay, I'm in Fayetteville. North
You mean
Carolina.
Fort Liberty? Woohoo!
Oh no, Fort Bragg.
Fucking assholes.
Sorry, Jason. I would love to drive up and.
Did he just apologize to me?
Yeah, he apologized. Yeah, Jason's not a reverend. Reverend.
Yes, please, please.
Yeah.
Love God,
Frank,
believe in God, but yes, please don't apologize to me.
I gotta let you go, Frank. I love you when you call. Do it more often, will you?
All right, brother. I love you too.
All right, man. See you, Bubba. All right, listen. I appreciate that. It comes down to this: the John F. Kennedy assassination. People you need to do a show on it. I would have to do it for a year. There is so many things that are non-conspiratorial. That, dude. There's so much that just disproves everything. The fact that Earl Warren was in charge of the Warren Commission and John F. Kennedy, you want to talk about a conflict of interest like Mershon, Earl Warren was fired by John F. Kennedy. Earl Warren said that he was going to kill John F. Kennedy in not so many indiscriminate words. Give me a break. Anyway, sorry about that. Lives like shit. I can't believe someone brought up Kennedy.
Used to it.
All right. How's everything going on the show?
We'll sleep at 2 a.m. tonight. There'll be a 3-hour conversation after the show.
Yeah.
That'll be funny.
Yeah. Folks, real quick, linktapgo.com/thedumb show. We have not done any promotion for ourselves. You guys entirely fund our show. We get a little help from Wimkin, which is great, and Spreely, but you guys also help us out, and your donations have been incredible. They keep us alive. They keep us floating. We need them now more than ever. If you have a chance to do that, and you've taken care of your loved ones, you've taken care of kids' birthdays and grandma and grandpa, and you've donated a little money to veterans, please do us a favor. Instead of buying 7 coffees next week that are going to cost you $40, maybe you can look and say, hey, you know what? We're going to help out the Dumb Show. If you want to, linktapgo.com/thedumb show. We would appreciate it. All helps. Quick commercial. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of being constantly banned off of every social media platform for saying facts only to be proven right 6 months later?
Yeah.
After you already had to create a new account?
It is pretty
Tired
funny.
of Fuckerberg robot AI-looking bitch constantly putting you in Facebook jail? Or maybe a geriatric old bastard who shits his pants in front of the Pope became the resident-in-chief because his crack addict, traitorous son had complete media silence about traitorous actions and backdoor deals with the big guy. And those bastards ban you for sharing the story. If you said yes to 2 of the 3 above, you don't need to circle back like a failed White House spokesperson who has 2 alcoholic drinks for a name. Up in Wimkin, we think it's fair not to sell your data to China. Even though their president is super inclusive and named Xi, we kind of have a problem with the whole harvesting organs, slave labor, and communism. We also don't compromise you or get your kids to do stupid and dangerous trends. So you don't have to find out secondhand your kid Johnny is an idiot. Look no further than Wimkin. Made and housed in the USA, Wimkin offers all the features of Facebook and more, with complete data privacy and safe for your whole family. Download us on your app store today and join the community of users who value privacy and safety. Wimkin.
Oh man, I freaking love it. And Jason is so balanced. He's getting a DDoS attack on his site. He's taking care of that. So
there was a question: is Wimkin open for investors?
That is a question that you can ask Jason when he comes back, and we'll certainly do it.
Hey, can I say something real quick? To all of our Wimkin viewers, I'd like to thank you for joining us and watching. Just keep an open mind when you're watching our show, and don't make and finalize your opinions on me or Matt or anyone else on the show by one comment that has been made tonight and decide, fuck it, I'm out because we spoke an opinion that you don't agree with. When we started this show 4 years ago, you can't believe the number of people that hated Matt. And some of those people came back and realized that, wait a second, I'm being a hypocrite to what I'm saying he's being. and are some of our most loyal followers. Amy Stamcombe from the beginning is one. She hated Matt, but she came back, and now we love her and she loves us. Keep an open mind. I know we're new, but keep an open mind to who we are and our opinions, please.
Yeah, that's pretty well said. I already know what you. I forewarned you, right? Like I bit your earlobe before I took your virginity. I mean, what do you want? I created some residual pain so you wouldn't feel it. Listen, I'm a veteran.
You didn't take my virginity, but you know.
Well,
I wasn't wet as the driven snow when we met.
Yeah, no, Jay, please do take it.
I'm not jumping in on the virginity thing first and foremost. That's not where I'm jumping in at. I'm jumping in on the Wimkin comments. Oh my goodness. I just looked at. We have 290 comments right now from people, so I haven't seen what they're saying. But let me tell you something. So we have a person that just joined the platform. He's a great guy. I knew him from WPXI. Was even in Pittsburgh. He was here for 6 years. When you leave, being an investigative journalist at these companies, you can zigzag and go wherever you want. And lucrative salary, you can do whatever. Literally, you're living comfortably when you're, on a network television with NBC, ABC, CBS. He joined yesterday. Well, he's actually been here a little bit, but he joined and he wanted to tell people to come over. And he said, hey, you guys might not like me because I call the truth out on every side of the equation. Now, as you guys know, Wimkin is 100% conservative. Well, not 100%, but very predominantly conservative. And, I think that skews a lot of people to where they don't have an open mind. So yes, Olivia, what you just said is very valid. And I absolutely believe that Wimkin's going to be the platform for you guys because most people do have that open mind to say, okay, I don't want to kick every liberal off. Now, most liberals that come on, they're just trying to troll us. One of the reasons why, Matt, when you asked that question, why did they go after you? Literally, the ADL, Anti-Defamation League, was on Twitter now. I'm sorry, Twitter then, X now, which I still can't get around. But they were on Twitter saying, go on to Wimkin, post something that goes against App Store standards, screenshot it, and then send it to the App Stores to get them banned. So we have seen everything. I'm not kidding when I say this. We have seen absolutely everything, every single type of attack. Right now, we just had a DDoS, probably because this show is on Facebook and other places. And here we are talking about some real things. But, realistically, I think this platform, they do understand that you can learn from the other side. And also, Matt, you'll go into this too, I would imagine. You learn from the other side in terms of how to beat them with their mistakes and how they approach the situations. Generally, every single liberal is going to argue themselves out of a conversation, out of an argument, because they can't deal with facts, plain and simple. So I know you guys deal in facts, and that's why I love you so much. I mean, realistically, I didn't try to recruit you for a year and a half on your hockey knowledge. Maybe I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a little bit.
No, you're like me, man. You like backhanded compliments. I love them too. So it's
now. And here's the thing too. This is sort of a backhanded compliment to my platform is because I'm talking about sports right now. I guarantee you, people are going to be upset with me. I mean, I grew up playing baseball. I was a very, very highly touted prospect in baseball. I hate the fact that I have to hate sports. I don't hate sports. I hate the politics that come with it. People should just play the game, plain and simple. So I still love that game. But I get, pardon my French, shit on my own platform for it. Kind of don't stand for that, but I kind of do because when you're actually the face of it, you sort of have to deal with some of that stuff. But Olivia, you hit that on the head. If people do run away from your show because of one comment, they don't belong on my platform. Plain and simple, they really don't.
So here's what I'll say, and I appreciate you guys talking and representing my thoughts well. I don't know everything, but I'll tell you what I don't do. I don't open my mouth unless I do know everything about the topic, or at least know enough to have a conversation. I work in facts. I bring in speculation and opinion. Thank you, BK, for the donation. Thank you, John, as well. I listen. I'm going to say the opposite. Maybe tonight's not your night. There is nobody who I know on the planet, including my uncle, who I admire and love more than anything else in the world. And I think he's one of the smartest men in the world to walk this earth, that I agree with everything he thinks. I don't want you to agree with me. I want you to make a comment. I want you to make an argument. But running away means that you don't have an argument and you can't dispute what I'm saying, and it makes you uncomfortable.
Well, fuck that. Be uncomfortable. And if you can't be, then you're not growing. There's no growth in the comfort zone at all. And the one thing I've learned is that you must push your body and your mind to its limits. And that means listening to shit that you don't agree with in order to formulate your own opinion that is lucid, based, and knowledgeable. And if you don't do that, that's when I don't want you to call my show. If you're not willing to listen, because here's the thing, and I'll just wrap it up in a bow. If you're waiting for the moment for me to upset you and disappoint you on my opinion, it's not going to take long, because I look at the left and the right equally, and I call balls and strikes. And I have very little political ideology in common with liberals. In fact, there's not anything. But I also know when conservative uniparty fucktards that are sitting inside Congress, I know when they are doing something for the three things that they care about, and the only ones they care about is money, power, and votes. So if I see conservatives doing the same thing, I'm going to call it out. And if I see liberals doing it, I'm going to call it out. So I don't have political ideology. I have facts, and I love my Constitution, and I love the people of this country, and I love this country, and I will defend it at all costs, including the flag. Too many of my friends came home under that fucking thing for some asswipe to hang it upside down and trivialize its true meaning. I'm sorry. You don't like that? I don't give a fuck. Cool?
JD is John, and he says, quit calling me by my government name. It's JD.
All right, John.
Also, there was a question for you, Jason.
12 inches.
Okay.
Wow.
We always have to get that. That's something always has to get out.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Somebody wants to know if Wimkin's looking for investment opportunities.
You know what? Actually, yes. We voted as a platform to stay private because we've been, so we went through, as we talked about shares tonight, we went through common shares at first as a private company. And we voted then because we've gotten a lot of, put it this way, we're very qualified to actually go public at this point in time because we went common. We went through a very successful Series A as well. I don't know if there will be a Series B at this point in time, but let's just be honest here. We don't want to go the ways of Rumble. I like Rumble. Those guys are friends of mine. I know. Well, no, I just talking about the executives here that have nothing to do with.
No, I'm with you.
Not the very top executives, but people that set up relationships and things. Good guys. They're Canadian, though. I will tell you this: they are Canadian, which might make a lot of sense down the line. But what they're doing right now, and it's not even their fault, but when you go public, you open yourself up to a world of hurt and dark money. Didn't see what happened to Rumble today, but it's not been able to go above 5 and 6. I think it went to $7 this year, but now it's back down to $6.17. It's dark money is going in there. BlackRock, Rockefeller, Jane Street Capital,
always has to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, this is what's happening. The elitists, if you want to call them elitists, I mean, they're putting their money in here, and they're trying to shut people up. Now, Rumble isn't good because of, let's be honest, they're I don't want to say anything bad about on their platform, especially ones that actually do adopt free speech. But
I'll say it. You guys got the ones you want, and you're going to make sure that nobody gets their market share because you got your cash cows. That's what it means. Until your viewers shut them down, you love those people. Come on.
No, I actually don't love them. But what I want is
not you, them.
Oh,
them,
okay, sorry. Well, no, I mean that's the thing. We want these people to come over here, and guess what? They're not making much money over there. And I'm not going to bring this up with your financial situation because I don't know it. But I know people that get 150,000 views a month there on 20 shows, and they're making maybe $800 legitimately. Now, it's good for their brand to get the views out there, but it's when you look at Rumble and they're paying gamers $2 million and buying them homes in Florida, are they really doing this for the right reason? Or is it seriously some of that dark money coming in and saying, okay, we are going to slowly turn the other way, like we're seeing in every company with, every single DEI, every single woke aspect. I don't know of anybody they paid for. I don't know if I'm sure they paid the Charlie Kirks and the top, Rumble stars or whatever you want to call them or influencers. But, when it comes down to them, I think they paid $6 million to 2 gaming streamers to get them off of Twitch. I don't know of any people that watch gaming on Rumble. Do you guys? I mean, I just don't watch gaming, so I could be completely wrong here. But, it's something that I just don't understand. this money, there were like negative 190 million in earnings last year. How do you survive that? How?
I don't know. Unless you're Amazon.
People have to look at that. People have to look at that balance sheet and they have to see what's coming. Look at their institutional shareholders because it's very scary who they are, truly. And that's why we stay private. And yes, we can accept some investors. Sorry.
Jared wants to know how much your shares are worth.
Oh, God. Okay, so common shares, you'll have to ask our CFO on this. He's also a certified financial planner. I think the common shares went from $150. Now they're at $660, but those are exhausted. There are a few straggler Series A that started at $100.93. I believe they are worth $330 because we base everything on an appraised value. As our value goes up, so do your shareholder, so are your share values. So right now, until our next appraisal, I think our last appraisal was around March 31st. We are right around $330, around $34 million platform value. So $330 for a Series A share.
Okay, question answered. Awesome. Liv, you have questions. You know what? Here's the great thing, folks. I love this shit. Like when I hear Wimkin people are pushing back, I love this because I went through this on Facebook, and trolls don't troll me anymore. They know better. Like they may try once or twice, and then they're like, "Fuck this." Like I'm just not going to win, and you're not because, folks, I have bathed in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Okay, I love this shit. I love waxing intellects with people, and I had to learn by fire. I almost got banned from Facebook. It's like, you're a bully, you're mean. I'm like, okay, don't cuss at people. Then I'd go, okay, you got to do this and this. Now I find the one thing and I hit it. And trolls are just like, I'm punching out. My goal is to get 25 responses so I can make them a top fan. It opens up their friends list to me so I can advertise to them. So my whole entire goal is to get trolls to post, and I'm really good at it. But I will tell you that if you watch me on a long enough timeline, and Jason will attest to this because he watches my show, I think he can count on one finger how many times I've been wrong when I say something on this show. And I'm talking truly, if you listen, whether it's elections or whether what Nikki Haley and where Ron DeSantis is going to be, or what was going to happen with the Houthis in Yemen, or predictive analysis on Iran and which conflicts we were going to have in Hong Kong, what Vladimir Putin was going to do, it doesn't matter. Is that I always bring the facts. And how I do that is doing this. Instead of running away from Wimkin, those people who left, I'm going to answer their questions, or I'm going to at least respond to their...
They weren't questions. They were more like insults.
Okay, great. So let's hear the insults. I'm ready.
So
I'm ready.
Am I saying the...
Yes, I want to hear them too, please.
Yeah, I want to hear them.
The name? Who wrote them?
Yeah, of course, because accountability is important.
There was only two so far.
Free speech is real.
Exactly.
Sure.
There was only two so far.
Okay.
It was American Rebellion. Fuck this asshole. I'm a vet in this country.
I like American Rebellion. He's a good guy.
Hold on, Liv. Say it again. Say it again. I want to hear it.
Fuck this asshole. I'm a vet, and this country has gone to shit and is highly in distress.
Okay, you're absolutely right. This country is highly in distress, but turning over a singular flag does not signify or dignify that. If you want to go to the nation's capital and you want to go ahead and take it over and you want to go ahead and roll that flag upside down, then you're broadcasting to the world that this is a national issue. Your home is not in distress. Your taxes are a little high. I'm sorry. You're having a tough time. I get you. You don't agree with this asshole? Yes. But why do we need to desanctify something that we care about and we swore to protect? I just disagree with you. But I also said that you have, and I vehemently will protect, as you've protected everybody's rights to say this. I just have the right to call you an asshole, and that's what I did. But it doesn't mean I don't love you. Doesn't mean I don't like you. Doesn't mean I don't want to talk to you. In fact, American Rebellion, I hope you fucking follow me and come on the show and have a debate with me of why I believe desecrating the flag in any way, shape, or form is wrong. In any form of protest, I don't want it pissed on. I don't want it lit on fire. I don't want it muddied. I don't want it tarnished. Every time there's a fray in it, I replace it. And you know better because you're a veteran. If you've abandoned those values, then that's fine. That's your choice. I won't. Next one. So
then he says, fuck this, I'm out. And
you already said that.
To him. No, he said it twice.
Oh, he said it twice?
So I replied to him.
There's an echo?
Yeah, I said, AR, Matt is also a vet. I would ask that you stick around a little longer. You might learn something. If you run away from everyone that says something you disagree with, you will never learn anything new.
Oh, that's a good response, Livy.
The next one.
Okay. Is it going to get better? I mean, is this all we got?
This one.
I mean, can I say
actually-
something? We have 290 comments. We got 30 people watching. This thing's been seen at least a few thousand times, and that's all we have.
There was one.
Oh.
And his name is Adam Weinberger, and he might still be watching because he didn't say, fuck this, I'm out.
Okay.
But we went back and forth a few times. It really sounds like this guy loves the flag more than the country to me. I didn't like that comment.
No, you don't have to not like it. Just okay. So what did you say?
But I responded. I said, Adam, he respects the flag and what it stands for. He fought for this country and still does daily. Instead of forming an opinion after watching one show, I invite you to join us every night so you can really get to know who we are. Just ask if you have any questions where mine and Matt's loyalties lie.
Wow. You've gotten so good at this, and you're hot too. Can you just do my light work? Let me just answer your quick question, then I'm going to shut up and let Jason go ahead and wrap us. Here's what I'll say. I don't believe that loving the flag and loving the country are mutually exclusive. I don't think one without the other is significant because I believe they're synonymous. I believe the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence are the three greatest documents ever created in mankind. I believe the separation of government was a positive and a possible way to continue to keep this republic moving forward, but we allowed the one thing that corrupts all governments, which is money, into our system. I love my country. I love the United States. I will never apologize for my country, but I can go ahead and take ownership of the actions of a few people. Here's my one question to you. So you've changed your Facebook profile picture and turned the flag upside down. Congratulations. Now what? Now what are you going to do? What have you changed? Did you change your picture to red, white, and blue for France during the shootings? Did you change it to the rainbow? Did you put it all black when George Floyd was shot? Guess what? It is an insignificant waste of time that does nothing for you. Get a voice. Find a platform. Find a Jason who wants you to speak for people, who wants you to help people understand and connect the dots. Reach out to me and make me a better person. But don't just sit there and change your profile pic and think you're not doing anything. It is an illusion. So if you want to overturn what's happened here, the only way you can do that is you use your voice. Use those three documents because they're not designed for the government. They were designed for you. And we have sat by and allowed it to be taken from us. And not voting or turning your flag upside down or punishing the red, white, and blue isn't going to make it any better. Standing by it and demonstrating that it signifies and dignifies something and it means something to you, in my opinion, is what it's going to take. Because that's what it took our founding fathers to do. They had to believe in something. They didn't just fucking turn their collars inside out and say, I'm done. I've done something. No, they put their fucking lives on the line for you, so you have a voice, so use yours. That's it. Hope you watch the show.
I did invite him onto the show.
Great.
And he said no.
He's Weinberger, right? Weinberger. He's Jewish. You want to hear the story of my great-grandma Schwartz? It's a good one. Holocaust survivor. Think we might have more in common than you think. But my great-uncle was also a Nazi, so I don't know, maybe we don't. Jason, we have something that we do in this show. It's called the 1 minute. At the end of the show, we do it. I want to thank you for being here and not allowing yourself to be distracted and sharing your message, and I love it, dude. And you've made it so fun tonight, and I appreciate you for it. I'm sorry about the DDoS attack, but everything else sounded good. You've got your, as long as you want, minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you want.
No, listen, guys. I mean, to be honest with you, there's another, again, reason, not just the hockey post. I've been going after you guys for a while because I know you set up well on this platform. The two individuals you referenced, Adam Weinberger is a very good guy. He really is. And AR, he's a fantastic, he has his own show. He's got a great show. And I think he should definitely come on and talk to you about this because let's just be honest here. When it comes down to this, and I'm not even plugging anything that I'm doing, it's kind of, that's my 1 minute. I know this, how this works. But, when it comes down to it, everything is designed against us right now. It's not designed for the left. They get everything they possibly want. The fact that this man served his country, Matt, and has a problem with you just liking the flag and not liking it, his turned upside down, they are winning. They are beating us. You are overthinking everything. It's us against them right now, no matter if you're turning your flag upside down or not. Your ideals are still going to align. What I think you are doing is seriously just overanalyzing absolutely everything. If your goals are to better this country, shut the F up. Put the flag the way it's supposed to be and hit the polls. Plain and simple. I can't stand the fact that these individuals are still, as you can tell, that they're saying, oh, I'm never going to vote again. Then shut up. Go lay down somewhere. Don't even come on the platform. Don't have a voice at this point. That's what gets me really upset. And, these comments, I know these guys. They're great guys. Literally would go into a foxhole with either guy. I can tell you that. So would you. Guaranteed. But their minds are warped by mainstream media at this point in time. Even when you're sitting there saying, I'm not watching this stuff, because you see all the vitriol other people are posting, it's still hitting you in the head. It's still skewing your actual view of reality. The reality is right now we have to take our country back. Plain and simple. If you think you need to do that with the flag turned upside down, fine. Don't hate Matt for it. That's actually out here with 200,000 followers on Facebook and making a difference and actually maybe stimulating some minds to come and save this country. This is not what we're supposed to do to each other. We are supposed to come together. No matter if we disagree on 1 or 2 things or 5 to 10 things. Plain and simple, the ultimate goal is to better our country, better it for our children, correct? Let's do that. That's my minute.
Adam Weiber says he is most definitely not Jewish. He's like, no, I'm not Jewish.
He was German. I thought he was German. I was going to say that.
It was a joke. That's why I brought in the Nazi comment at the end.
Okay.
Because I'm German. My last name is Speer.
My first time as a guest.
No. Adam, I don't have any problem with what Adam said. I have no problem. This is my minute. I already took a little bit. I'm going to take a little more. I don't care, guys. I'm not perfect, dude. And you're right. I am an asshole. You got that right. You nailed it on the head. I am an asshole. But I'm also loyal, and I'm also caring, and you'll either figure that out or not. But dude, what's great is some of the best friends I've ever had is the ones that we knock each other's dick in the dirt, and then we pick each other up and go have a beer. So I don't take offense, guys. I'm going to continue to piss you off. I'm not going anywhere. So either you're going to have to block me and do what is completely antithetical to your platform and my message of don't unfriend me, which I don't think you guys are going to do. So you're either going to get used to me or you're not. And what's great is that you've got plenty of options on a fantastic platform and watch some other great people. And if you got a show, dude, get your ass on here so I can promote you. I want to hear your show. Bill Maher is one of my favorite people on the planet. That bothers you. I don't care. I listen to a lot of people who you don't like, so I know how to argue with them. That's why I do it. Liv, you got a minute. God, you're hot.
I know.
Okay, what do you want?
So there was one more question, one more thing.
Do you
that
know?
Adam did say.
I can't. Why do we spend? Listen, real quick, why do we spend any time on the 2%? Right? That's the bottom. This is the problem people do in retail and business. Is that you've got a glowing, booming group of employees who need your attention, but we always focus on the top 2% of our performers and the bottom 2. You're always trying to get the bottom 2 fired and replaced, and you're always trying to reward and keep these top 2 performing. The 96% in between there is where you should spend the most of your time. I want to focus on the 96% of the users who watched tonight, who loved the show, who had a comment, who made us have a great night. Those are the people I want to talk to. Get your ass in here, talk to us, ask some questions. Let's get the conversation flowing. Go ahead, Livy.
Okay, so Adam said one more comment, and I'm going to say something about this. So he said, Olivia, did I hurt feelings here? It's not disrespectful to disagree, which is totally, and I said that. Now I know you two are as bad as the left. Okay.
Who said that?
Wow.
Adam. So here's the thing, Adam. You've watched 1, maybe 2 or 3 shows. You have no idea how we started this show and why we started it. The reason we started this show is because I voted for Trump. And I was a huge supporter of Trump in 2016. I was never really into politics. I voted for Bush both times, but it was like, my parents are Republican. I'm going to be a Republican, whatever. I really didn't care about politics. I got into politics heavily in 2016. And I was very open about it. Our kids' godparents are very far left liberals.
Oh, horrible.
And the 2 older children defriended us and completely just cut us out of
I taught her how to drive, and I picked her up from a party where she was drunk and didn't want to tell her mom and dad.
And lied to the parents about it too. Now we've got, they don't want to talk to us anymore. The godmother works for a
Starbucks.
Yep. We're going to say Starbucks. She basically runs the western half of the United States is what she runs. So should be a very well-spoken human being. She's gotten to her position for a reason. She started as a barista and she's worked her way up. Well, right after Trump got COVID, she came out and said some horrible things.
Say what she said.
Trump should take bleach. Him and Melania should die so Barron can be an orphan. I mean, horrible stuff. All I said was, I thought you had a little more tact than that.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
She defriended me. She blocked me. And she completely cut our kids out of her life. And my kids no longer have godparents because I voted for Trump and I called her out on her bullshit when she was insulting Trump. That's how this show got started. I was pissed. I came downstairs in tears, crying. Matt asked me what's wrong. I told him, and he immediately went on live on Facebook and just did like a 30-minute rant of what happened. And everyone's like, wow, you're really good at this. You should do something. So we sat down and we started thinking, maybe we could. And we planned this out, but that's where the name Don't Unfriend Me comes from.
Yeah.
I voted for Trump and my kids lost their godparents because of it. So don't ever call me a liberal and don't ever compare me to a liberal ever again.
Please.
Please.
See, here's the thing. She's not used to this, right? So she defends me.
I've only been on the show for a year.
I've defended Olivia her whole life. And she doesn't like people talking. I don't care. Like, I don't know you guys. You don't know me, and it doesn't matter. So, hey, let's do this. Let's just all sing Kumbaya. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day. Jason, dude, I loved having you. Go ahead. You go.
I
go ahead.
need 10 more seconds on this little segment.
You got an hour. Whatever you want. It's yours.
No, legitimately. I mean, these guys that are talking are great human beings. But they have to realize how close they are to leftist liberals when they are doing this. When they are canceling off of one thing that they don't like. This is exactly what the left does. People need to be smarter and realize seriously, hey, I am acting like a liberal right now. And that's all I wanted to say. I mean, it blows my mind. It really does.
If I'm a liberal, I'm a veteran, Trump voting, flag loving, country loving, red, white, and blue patriot.
But you
liberal.
don't
Thanks.
cancel people for one comment or someone says something about you.
No, I just cancel the fucking trolls when they become top fans.
I absolutely love these guys that Livia referenced here. I love them. But for them to say I'm out and for them to say, oh, screw this, I hurt your feelings. There's no feelings on this show. We do this for a living, Adam. I don't know what you do, but you don't do this. You don't put your life on the line to do what we're doing. Plain and simple, you don't. Our faces are out there. Our voices are out there. AI right now, Matt, we're done. Livia, we're done.
Yeah.
We can spoof anything they ever want.
Oh, you're absolutely
Literally,
right. You're absolutely right.
We do this for a living. We put ourselves out there for you guys. And for you to seriously sit there and say and talk this big game, show me what you're going to do then. Organize. Do something, please. Because I'm sick of hearing it. These guys are gracious enough to come test our platform that you're an investor in. These guys are helping you. What are you thinking? It's liberal thoughts.
It's
now
okay.
I'm really done. Thanks.
It's really fuck, guys.
I can't.
I know you're the CEO. You have every right to call out your platform.
Can't get anywhere, man. Can't get anywhere with this mindset.
I just love everybody, man. I just want more and more people to watch and get going. I know. I just want you guys to. I want you guys to give it a chance. But listen, if you don't like tonight, you're going to hate what I have to say about Marjorie Taylor Greene. You're going to fucking hate what I have to say about the election. You're going to despise me. So just hang on. Wait till go ahead and ask me about the stolen election. Let's have that conversation. You'll fucking hate me. Ask me about J6. You'll hate me over that. But that's okay. We don't have to agree on everything. Okay? Jason, how do they go to Wimkin? Tell them how they sign up, what they do. We've got a minute or 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay, so Wimkin.com, WIM as in Mary, KIN as in Nancy.com. If you don't like apps, we did, after 8 months, beat our App Store bans, which cost a lot of money, heartache, everything else, but it kept our integrity. So you can also get us on Apple and Google Play. I'm sick of the people saying, if you're on the App Stores, you censor. No, we don't. We beat them. We cost them money. And we're going to do it again if they ever try to ban us. So trust us. Download us. Our users will tell you you're not going to be censored there unless you post porn, nudity, or threaten to kill or hurt somebody or try to sell drugs. You'll be fine. Plain and simple. That's how you get us.
Folks, we will be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We appreciate you. Wimkin, you're leaving now, and Spreely, you're leaving. We'll see you guys later. We'll be back at 7 o'clock. We have a recorded show. Make sure to follow us. Go to thedumshow.com. Once again, you want to donate to the show, you can do that. You want to wait a little bit, you can do that too. We appreciate you. Go over to Wimkin, sign up. If you haven't done that, do that now. Last but not least, we are only at 99 likes, and that's ridiculous considering we had more than 250 on, and then Wimkin as well. I'm going to wait for one more like before we go. I want that one like. Facebook, get your shit together. Come on.
Where are these? Oh, it's Facebook. Okay, I was going to say.
It's Facebook.
I don't know.
I refuse to leave. It's just something I started. I refuse to leave until it's 100. And it's always like, I think they're screwing with me. I think they do it on purpose to make it that way. All right, there's my like. 117.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody. Jay, thank you. I love you, buddy. You're the best.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you.
All right, good
Thanks,
night.
Jason.
Adjusting transmitter.
Good night, y'all.
Oh, wait. Best question of the night. Why the name Wimkin? Joe Hillstrom wants to know.
World must know now. WMKN. We were not allowed to use the FCC call letters, so we just put the little I's in there. Because WMKN, if you sound it out, it's Wimkin. It stands for World Must Know Now, in honor of free speech. And our logo, if you look at it, it's a panic button for the world to sound. Plain and simple.
Wimkin.com, folks. Go see him. Go say hello. Go to Spreely TV. Throw some loves and like over to Spreely too. Two of the best, Spreely and Wimkin. Thank you, everybody. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.
Night, y'all.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy.
Hang tight, Jason. We're going to bring you back in 1 second.
Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming
Go ahead.
to you live
Go
on
ahead.
the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.